Imagine this. You're struggling to make ends meet, and suddenly, there's a knock at your door. It's the police. But why? Because you couldn't pay back a loan. Sounds crazy, right? Well, in some cases, it's not just possible, it's reality. Today, we're diving into the shocking truth about loan defaults. We're tackling a question that might keep you up at night. Can you actually go to jail for not paying back a loan? Buckle up, because the answer isn't as straightforward as you might think. That's right, today I'll take you to, can you go to jail for not paying back a loan? If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our video updates. Plus, it helps us spread the Thrive Wise love to help more people thrive wisely. Now, let's begin. Let's be honest, loans are a double-edged sword. They can be a lifeline when you're in a pinch or a stepping stone to your dreams. But what happens when the American dream turns into a financial nightmare? Millions of people struggle with loan repayments every day. Maybe it's that student loan that's been hanging over your head since college. Or perhaps it's a business loan that went south when the market took a nosedive. Whatever the case, defaulting on a loan isn't just a matter of disappointing your lender. It can have serious consequences. We're talking about a damaged credit score that can haunt you for several years, making it nearly impossible to rent an apartment, buy a car, or even land a job. Then there's the constant barrage of calls from debt collectors, turning your phone into a source of anxiety rather than connection. And let's not forget about the potential for wage garnishment, where your hard-earned cash gets siphoned off before it even hits your bank account. But the million-dollar question remains, could you end up behind bars for failing to pay back a loan? It's a fear that keeps many borrowers tossing and turning at night. After all, debtor's prison are a thing of the past, aren't they? Alright, let's dive into the deep end of the loan default pool. Buckle up, because we're about to take a wild ride through the legal jungle of debt collection. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. Can you actually go to jail for not paying back a loan? The short answer is, drumroll please, generally no. Phew, you can breathe a sigh of relief. In the United States, we don't have debtors' prisons anymore. We're not living in a Charles Dickens novel, thank goodness. But hold your horses, because it's not all sunshines and rainbows in the world of unpaid debts. While you can't be thrown in the slammer simply for owing money, there are some sneaky loopholes that could land you in hot water faster than you can say bankruptcy. Let's break it down, shall we? Picture the world of debt collection as a game of cat and mouse. You're the mouse. Sorry, but in this scenario, you're definitely not the cat. And there are three big scary cats trying to catch you: creditors, collection agencies, and the judicial system. Each one has its own set of claws, and trust me, they're not afraid to use them. First up, we have the creditors. These are the people who gave you the money in the first place. They're like that one friend who spotted you cash for lunch and now won't stop bringing it up every time you see them. Except instead of a $10 sandwich, we're talking about thousands of dollars. Creditors have a few tricks up their sleeves to get their money back. They can report your delinquent debt to credit bureaus, which is like getting a big fat F on your financial report card. This can make it harder to get loans, rent apartments, or even land certain jobs in the future. It's like having a financial scarlet letter, except instead of an A, it's more like a D for deadbeat. Next in line are the collection agencies. If creditors are that persistent friend, collection agencies are like that ex who just won't take a hint. They buy your debt from the original creditor for pennies on the dollar. And then they come after you like a dog with a bone. They'll call you, send you letters, maybe even slide into your DMs if they're really desperate. It's like having a stalker, except this one's legally allowed to harass you, within certain limits of course. But here's where it gets interesting. While these first two cats can make your life miserable, they can't actually throw you in jail. That's where our third and final cat comes in, the judicial system. Now, this is where things can get a bit dicey. See, while you can't go to jail for simply owing money, you can end up behind bars for disobeying court orders related to your debt. It's like when your mom told you to clean your room and you didn't, so you got grounded. Except instead of being sent to your room, you're sent to a cell with a guy named Bubba who thinks you look like his ex-girlfriend. Here's how it typically goes down. A creditor sues you for the unpaid debt, and if they win, and let's face it, if you owe the money, they probably will, the court might order you to pay up or appear for something called a debtor's examination. This is where you have to disclose all your assets and income sources. It's like a financial strip search, and it's about as fun as it sounds. Now, here's the kicker. If you ignore these court orders, that's when you could find yourself in trouble. The judge could hold you in contempt of court, and that, my friends, is your one-way ticket to Jailville. Population, you. But wait, there's more. There are actually a few specific types of debt that could land you in the slammer more directly. First up is child support, because apparently the government takes feeding your kids more seriously than paying back your credit card. Next, there's taxes. As the saying goes, nothing is certain except death and taxes, and possibly jail time if you don't pay those taxes. And lastly, there's fraud. If you took out a loan with no intention of paying it back, that's fraud. And fraud is the express train to prison town. Now, before you start panicking and Googling how to flee the country, remember that these situations are relatively rare. Most of the time, defaulting on a loan will result in a world of financial hurt, but not actual jail time. So, what's a cash-strapped individual to do? Well, communication is key. If you're struggling to make payments, reach out to your creditors. Many are willing to work out a payment plan or settlement. It's like negotiating with a toddler. If you approach it right, you might just avoid a full-blown tantrum. And if things are really dire, there's always bankruptcy. It's like hitting the reset button on your financial life. Sure, it'll leave a mark on your credit report for years to come, but it's better than playing hide and seek with debt collectors for the rest of your life. And while you're unlikely to end up sharing a cell with hardened criminals for missing a few loan payments, the legal system has other ways to make you wish you were in jail. It's like playing financial whack-a-mole. Dodge one consequence and another pops up. Lawsuits? Oh, they're coming after you faster than you can say objection. Creditors can drag you to court quicker than you can Google how to represent yourself. And if they win, spoiler alert, they usually do, you're looking at a judgment that sticks to your credit report like gum on a shoe. But wait, there's more. Ever heard of wage garnishment? It's not a fancy herb for your paycheck. It's when the court decides to play Robin Hood with your salary. Except instead of giving it to the poor, they're giving it to your creditors. Up to 25% of your disposable earnings just disappear. Gone. Poof, just like magic. But the kind that leaves you broke and not entertained. And let's not forget about liens. They're like the financial face tattoo. Hard to hide and even harder to get rid of. Your house, your car, even that vintage Pokemon card collection. All of that is fair game to them. So while debtor's prison is off the table, the legal ramifications of defaulting on a loan are no joke. From credit score nightmares to wage garnishment, the consequences can follow you for years. All you need to remember is that you need to borrow responsibly, communicate with creditors, and always know your rights. Also, what's the craziest thing you've ever done to avoid paying back a loan? Wrong answers only. Let's see who can come up with the most outrageous but legal debt dodging scheme. And well, that's basically, can you go to jail for not paying back a loan? And thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And hey, it seems that YouTube thinks that the next video can completely transform your financial situation. Watch it to find out whether they're correct. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button to see more videos on how to thrive wisely. Till next time.